So, John, how is your other knee?
It's held up pretty well for what I did to it. I mean, I had the ACL done, and I tore a little bit of the meniscus on the back of the knee. Um, I think it. Hopefully, it'll hold up. I don't want to get this done on
Well,
the other one.
that was my next question. Are you
Yeah.
willing at this point?
No.
Are you willing to do this again?
No. Absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No. No. Sorry. Too many no's.
So
Yeah.
no, then.
That I think I compromised myself with this one. I don't know. Change in 6 months,
Yeah.
but I just can't see it being as stable as it was before the surgery.
Yeah.
I wish I had spent more time looking for an alternative.
Yeah.
Um, but
Same.
I reason that I got two grandchildren. I'm in really good shape now. If I wait another 5 years, am I still going to be healthy? I want to be able to do things with these children. I want to be able to do the cardiovascular exercise I need to stay healthy. So I thought, well, it's probably going to wear out more.
Yeah.
I'm compromised now to some level. And I'm hearing that this is a really good surgery,
Right.
right? So I had it done, and now it's done. Now I got to make the best of it,
Right.
and I'll do my best to avoid it on the other one. And hopefully, all my other joints kind of hold together because I don't want to go through this again.
Yeah.
That's all the points you raised, Cindy and Dee. They're the points I think a lot of us think about. What's going to happen to this thing over time? Now, how's it going to affect my other joints? How's it going to affect my hip?
Hmm.
There's no cartilage there anymore that absorbs all this vibration and shock when I'm walking or running or doing
Right.
things. And my ankle, it's not a single thing that's sitting by itself. This is part of a whole organism that has to work together.
Let's talk knees, titanium knees, from hurting to healing to taking the lead. Let's talk knees.
All right. So welcome, John. I've really been looking forward to talking with you because for all of you viewers out there, John sent us a brief write-up of his journey into and since total knee replacement, and it's a heck of a story.
Yeah.
This one everybody's gonna love. So
Yeah.
stick around for this one. So
For sure.
I think that you've laid out the format here really well, John. So we'll just kind of let you go from the athlete that you are and how that got started up into
Well, I'm
the
old
knee
now.
replacement.
Definitely a former athlete, but I was since I was 9 years old, I was involved in judo. I guess you could call me a judoka. So from 9 to 13, I played. I left for about 6 years, and I went back when I was 19. But as a junior, I took second, well, silver and bronze at the Junior Olympics. So I was pretty good athlete as a child. And then I went back, and it took me a while to kind of work through the ranks. And eventually, in '92, I bronze at the nationals. Um, Up to now, I had a few injuries. In '86, I had a meniscus tear in my right leg. That's the one I just had the knee replacement. And that took a lot longer than any of the injuries I've had to really heal. I took about 6 months to decide to have it, I guess, shaved, whatever they do. They go in there and do a partial meniscectomy. And then after that, it still took some time. And I finally, it took about a year to get back into judo. Then it was fine for many years. Then after I had placed at the nationals, there was two tournaments later. It was at the AMCAN. It's an American Canadian international tournament. I blew out my left ACL, and that one, the surgeon was really good. The other surgeons didn't like him because he took way too long in surgery. So
Can't make enough
um,
money that way.
I know they can't take. He didn't take shortcuts. I think it was maybe 6 or 8 weeks post. I went in for the follow up, and I was already running stairs.
6 weeks.
And he said, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm good. I'm running stairs." And he screamed. I was like, "You're gonna tear your graft out." So he looked at my knee and it was stable, and I was like shocked. I was like, should I stop? She said, no, continue. So
No harm,
so,
keep going.
so I mean, it was a pretty quick recovery. I mean, I was back on the mat in maybe 6 or 7 months, and worked up to training hard again. And I stopped competing after that, but I still continued to train pretty hard. I think I was maybe I was 31 by then. I trained pretty hard up until about 47 when I moved down here to Maryland. So there was when I lived in Massachusetts, there was an elite camp I used to go to once or twice a year to train with the top guys that would go there. And then back in around Albany, New York, where I came from, Jason Morris was one of the people I used to train with, even as a brown belt, and he wound up being a 4-time Olympian. So he had an elite camp there, and I would go there when he had his camp to train a couple of times. So I did that well into my 40s. And then when I moved to Maryland a couple of years later, my left knee started to bother me. And that's not the one I had replaced. And so I went to a surgeon, and he had a reputation of being very conservative. So he went in and he just did a cleanup. And I had some fraying of the lateral meniscus in the front, and he shaved it back a little bit, and then did a little bit of carpentry in there to kind of clean up the spurs and so on. And it's been good since. I went right back in maybe a month or so, maybe 6 weeks later, started working out again. I did heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, all that stuff, well into my 50s. So then this knee started to really bother me again, and I could tell it was bone on bone. And I went in about 5 years ago to see the same surgeon. And I said, can you do something like you did to the other one? Can you clean it up? And back in my time when I was an athlete, it was common to go in and do the cleanup. And it would help for years afterwards, even if it was bone on bone. It was something that the surgeons would do. He said, we can't do that anymore. Well, he didn't quite say that, but he said, no, really, it's not recommended. And I said, well, worked on the other one. He says, well, and he kind of alluded to the state boards and the AMA. They have, kind of developed, through the literature, developed statistical analysis that it's not really that much of an improvement overall. So he didn't really want to do it. And I probably could have been more persistent and found a surgeon to do it, but I trusted him, and he said, well, you should probably have a knee replacement. And at that point, I wasn't really ready yet. I was maybe 58 or 59. And so I put it off for another 5 years. And then over 2 winters, I did something when I was in the snow with my snowblower. And I just tweaked it wrong. And it was months. It was bothering me, So I went in and I looked up a number of different surgeons, and I found this guy, and I went in to talk to him, and I agreed to have surgery. I looked into it. I probably didn't look into it in as much depth as I should have. I really wasn't aware that there was like a quadriceps sparing procedure.
Right.
I probably would have opted for that had I really known. I knew that they were going to take the ACL and the PCL. And I was very concerned that what is the knee going to be like without an ACL and a PCL?
Yeah.
For your viewers, that you guys have already probably described, but ACL is an anterior cruciate ligament, and PCL is a posterior cruciate ligament. And they give the knee anterior stability, so the ACL prevents the knee from kind of riding forward, and the PCL from riding backwards. And so the word was basically, well, your knee will compensate for that.
Wow.
So, in looking at other videos post-surgery, the idea is that the synovial capsule will somehow tighten, then the other ligaments kind of take over.
Is this a common thing? Because I've not heard them taking those out.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know for sure. Nobody told me what exactly they did in mine, but I've read that they take those out, because one of my concerns was that I'm afraid my knee's going to like bend all the way backwards. But then somebody told me no, on the bottom prostheses, there's some little kind of a little notch, a little knob so that when
Yeah.
the knee comes back, it hits against that so that it can't go all the
Right.
way back. And I think that's
Right.
kind of what those, because don't they kind of cross, don't those
Yeah.
ligaments kind of crisscross and they keep,
Right.
anyways, yeah.
Well, I got to
So,
go watch a surgery
Yeah,
again.
but that little knot, it doesn't attach to both ends of the bone. It doesn't.
Okay.
It
Right.
doesn't attach to the
Right.
femur and the tendon. So it's just a notch that keeps it from sliding backwards.
right.
There's nothing that stops it from sliding forwards.
Yeah.
And mine does that now. It's like it acts like a knee that has no ACL. And I've read up on it since. There is a procedure that can spare both of those, but it's not that successful. I don't know why,
Oh,
but it's not that successful. But mine will like ride forward 2 or 3 millimeters. If I could get my leg up, I could show you. And I don't want to do that to your poor viewers.
Poor me.
Or poor her. She, when I just read that in
Yeah.
her story, she was
So-
like, "Ooh,
So yeah, so that's our new joint now, Cindy. So they've hammered those new prostheses in the upper end and lower end, and everyone says it's great to go. You'll be fine. You'll
First
be
2
fine.
weeks is the hardest. Piece of
Yeah,
cake.
yeah. No, I didn't. 2 weeks. I didn't matter what I took. Finally, one of the doctor said, "Why don't you try gummies?" And I don't really want to take gummies because they make my memory go to crap, and I need my brain for my work. But
Yeah.
while I was off work for the first 2 weeks, and then I worked from home for the second 2 weeks. Actually, the next month I worked from home. But I didn't want to make that a habit, But it did
Right.
help. It helped sleep. But I'd be foggy, So yeah, getting to the kind of recovery.
I'm gonna
Post-surgery-
jump in and talk a little bit more about the surgery before we move forward to the after. Did you go home the day of surgery, or did you stay overnight?
Yeah, I
the
went
first
the day off. Yeah, I went the day off. I got up and walked out.
day? Okay.
They tried to pin me back down to the table because I before I was even really understanding that I was still in this place. I tried to get up and leave, and then they pinned me down, and then I woke up. I have a memory that I just woke up and they asked me to stand up, and they put my walker in front of me, and I just got up, got on the walker, and just started walking for the door.
I'm out of here.
They were like, "Well, I guess he's ready. You better bring the car around." That's how kind of cavalier it was. But I mean, the surgeon was really good. The team was really good. I really can't complain too much about them. They did a really good. I thought they did a really good job. So yeah, so I went home the same day. Dee, if you wanted to go forward with some other questions.
Did you? Did they seal you back up with glue or staples?
Staples. I think inside there's a lot of sutures.
Right.
I'm not sure about what's glued. They did staple things together on the outside.
Okay, so you said yours was not quadriceps sparing. Was it robotic assisted?
No,
Okay, so yours
no, it
was.
wasn't robotically assisted.
And how long is your incision?
Oh, probably 7 or 8 inches. It goes. Let's see. It probably goes maybe 1.5 inches past above the knee, probably where they cut the tendon.
Okay.
And then all the way down below my kneecap, probably. It's got to be 7 inches. Probably about 7 inches. I haven't measured it.
Yeah.
It's a long scar.
Yeah.
It's
Is
a
it
long
right
scar.
down the center of your knee, or is it off to the side of your kneecap?
It's not perfectly straight. I think my leg was sitting at an angle.
Oh.
And so if I put my leg straight, it kind of curves a little bit.
Oh.
What's
Yeah.
fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's odd, I guess.
All right. Well, let's I'll let you get back on track with your story and talk about when you're going home.
Okay, so yeah, I went home. I was not in much pain for the first day and a half, and then the block wore off. And by the second day, I had gained 7 pounds.
Wow.
So it was all water retention in the leg from inflammation. It was extremely painful. It was more painful. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but I had a break on my arm. I don't know if you guys can see
okay.
it.
Oh, wow.
That's
So that was
interesting.
another judo injury, but they had to put a plate in it. And so that was another kind of bone pain injury. Now, up until this surgery, that was really the most painful surgery I had been through. This one was way more painful. It was very, very painful. It was constant pain. And that lasted. It was worse at night.
Yeah.
So the nighttime hours rolled around, it was like almost like nerve pain on top of all the other pain. And it was very, very difficult to sleep for quite a while. And then the therapy started 2 days after surgery.
Yeah.
So I went in, and the senior therapist evaluated me, and it did the first measurements. I think the initial measurements were pretty good. I think I was like -7 extension and something like, I don't know, it was more than 90. It was already past 90.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that was positive, and then we didn't really do that much after that. So he did a few really light exercises. Then that was it. I did all the exercises they gave me at home for probably almost 2 weeks. And then after I had I think I already told you that the session, it was 2 weeks and 2 days. And I went to another therapist. It was a third therapist I had seen. She was very new. She put me through like an NFL combine. It was just a massive amount of exercise. And with my knucklehead mentality as a former athlete, I just pushed through it all. So she had me do, if I can remember, total was like five sets of squats to a chair, but 5-second descent, 5-second ascent, 5 sets of bridges. It was like 15 reps. Same with the squats. And then she had me doing extensions, like just regular leg extensions. And then she had me doing walking lunges. So on the back wall of the facility, it's about a 30-yard stretch. So I went back and forth. I can't remember if it was 3 or 5 times.
And this was at 16 days. I couldn't do that now.
Seriously,
That was really.
That
It was.
is-
It was the leg was like clicking and crunching. I was like clicking and crunching. So, well, don't go so deep. So we did that, and then she had me do banded, like half squat, side walking. Like, I don't know what you call them.
Side steps.
wow.
Side steps. Yeah, that would make the thing crunch too. It was crunching away, and so I did 5 sets of those. I'm maybe forgetting some of the things, but that was the majority of it. So I went home and iced it, and I about 4 hours later, I was in a lot of pain, and I managed to doze off. And when I woke up, the leg was shaking. It was like going like this all by itself.
Wow.
So it was
Muscle
definitely
spasms.
way too much.
Yeah.
So I did nothing for like 4 days, maybe a little bit of extension, flexion, and I skipped the next physical therapy, and then by the next one, just by resting it and doing a little bit of extension and flexion work, I was at 5 degrees. I think it was 5 degrees extension, and my flexion. At that point, I had gained up to 117.
Cool.
So it went from 103 to 117. I think I gained like 14 degrees. And I hadn't done all the crazy stuff they wanted you to do.
Yeah.
All I did was a little extension and flexion, and I gained 14 degrees. So
Yeah.
Thinking back on my previous, interactions with therapy and the way I handle things, I was like, this is way too much. They're just giving way too much to people.
Yep.
And
I
then
agree.
The next,
Yeah,
next therapy, maybe some people need it, but I can't fathom. I'm a former athlete, so I'm the guy that should have been able to handle stuff. But that was crazy. So I went in the next time and I told them I don't want to have her near me again.
Good for you.
That's a very similar
Yeah.
story to her. She went in and somebody was a little bit too much, and it set her way back, and we had to go in and say, we don't make her cry at PT. There's no need for that. And yeah, we will not see that person again. And we ended up doing it. She just started doing it on her own because everything that they would have her do at PT, she was doing at home anyway.
Yeah, I had 3 different PT people. The senior guy was really good. He was not aggressive, and he had really good advice that kind of meshed with my thinking. The second one, she was pretty good, but I have a funny feeling that she was friends with the other one. And after my interaction,
they were in cahoots.
Well, it was cold. It was colder. It was a colder interaction. But by the 5th week, I was discharged. So I had 123 degrees flexion and -1 extension. But I'm doing a lot of walking at work. So at this point, I do between 3,000 and 5,500 steps a day. And by the end of the week, it's really sore. And I still ice it, usually in the morning, and then when I get home at night, and I have some ice packs at work. The last couple of weeks hasn't really been as bad, where I had to ice it a lot during the day. Mm-hmm. So it's starting to come along. But yeah, it's a crazy trip. Not at all what they tell you. Not at all what they tell you. And I don't know if this thing will ever be as good as a knee it replaced. Even in the state it was in, I could still half sprint. I could still do squats, but light, not like when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I would do a leg routine every week with my legs. I hit the heavy bag, hit the speed bag, do some little bit of agility stuff. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that again the way the knee is. We'll have to see. It'll be a while before I can really evaluate it.
Have you been back to your surgeon? Have you had x-rays since surgery? And if so, what do they say?
One follow-up. That was at 4 weeks. And he did x-rays. The x-ray, I don't know. It looked fine to him. You could see where they put the insert in the patella, and you could see where the prosthesis was kind of settled. Didn't look like anything had loosened at that point. That was before the crazy therapist.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to have a follow-up. So at 4 weeks I was supposed to have it, but he had some kind of a family emergency, so he canceled twice on me so far.
Oh.
So I'm supposed to go in next Friday.
Are you going to have an x-ray? Do you know?
I don't know. I would guess so.
Don't guess is my advice. Call them and ask them, are you going to x-ray? And if they say, no, we don't typically x-ray, say, I want an x-ray. Because I had to do that. I did that at my 6 week because they x-rayed me at 1 week, and then I didn't go back until 6 weeks. Right. And so I called and asked, are you going to require an x-ray for the 6 weeks? They said, no, we don't require an x-ray then. I said, but I want one. I need peace of mind. And she said, I totally understand. That's fine. We'll order it. So I just suggest doing that. I think it's good for peace of mind. And then, my doctor's office, they would show the x-ray on the screen. We could look at the x-ray. And I think as a patient, if they're not showing it to you, you should be able to say, I want to see the x-ray. I want you to walk me through it. I want you to tell me that this is okay. I just think it's very important that you have to advocate for yourself and say, listen, I paid you a lot of money and this is my body. I need that peace of mind. And that I felt very strongly about that. So,
well, you're also going to want to know if something's loosened or if it's sitting properly.
Exactly.
What I'm concerned about is all this riding forward. How's that going to change the wear and tear on the prosthesis?
Yeah.
Because we don't have any natural tissue anymore. It's titanium nickel and polypropylene or whatever the poly is.
I think it's interesting that you could see, because you said you saw the first x-ray and you could see the thing. So we're recording?
We're recording. So for the viewers, we lost power here at the Total Knee Talk headquarters in Arizona at the same time that John lost internet on the East Coast. So
Give me a second.
if it's an alien invasion, we may not air this. Otherwise, I think we can just go on with the interview and finish it up if you're cool with that, John.
That's fine. So I'm at 10 weeks and 3 days now, getting back closer to normal. But normal for me is really being able to be physically active, and being able to do kind of the exercises I'm used to doing, and I feel keep me healthy. I really don't know if it's smart to do anything athletic yet. I hit the heavy bag a couple of times, and my knee got pretty sore, side to side kind of movement. So I have to kind of calm down and let things progress at the pace they need to.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's very important. You have to listen to your body. I mean, just like you didn't want that physical therapist to touch you anymore because they were too aggressive. I mean, I think even an athlete's body, you're going to recover at your own speed and your own pace. And though your brain wants to still be, I'm an athlete, but the knee is like, I'm not an athlete. I need to take my time. Yeah.
A lot of the pain is still in my kneecap.
I had a lot of pain in my kneecap in the beginning too, and it really scared me, because because everything scares me.
Because you didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't. I had no idea my kneecap was going to hurt, and I did have a lot of pain, and that's resolved itself. If I were you, my concern would be this movement that you're having, in the knee. Although every now and then I'll be standing and it's not even a pivot. I'll just kind of be standing and, maybe working in the kitchen or whatever. And all of a sudden it just kind of feels like my knee kind of goes, and I'm like, oh, and it doesn't hurt when it does it, but it feels icky and I don't like it.
After we're done here, I'm going to try sliding your knee. Okay?
No.
Yeah, mine will definitely, it'll move like there's a deficit in the ACL. So, yeah, I mean, I was worried that it somehow had come loose. Yeah. Like the implant had come loose. Okay. So I looked around, I researched around, and
it happened.
What I gather, there's a pretty significant increase in pain and swelling if that happens.
Yeah.
So I have less concern now, but like you said, I really want that follow-up X-ray. Which was your procedure, quadriceps sparing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So they didn't snip you like they did to me.
No. So mine was quadriceps sparing and robotic assisted, and so yeah, they
got the Cadillac version.
What's that?
You got the Cadillac version.
Well,
I got 1958 DeSoto version. Yeah, there's such a wide range of. It seems to be very individualistic.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
for sure.
I don't even. It probably tracks somehow with better recoveries, or people are physically in better shape, but I don't think it tracks perfectly at all. No. Because some people have both knees done, and one will heal great, and the other one it'll take 4 or 5 times as long. Sure. It's like I don't know. The human body is so complex,
right?
And they're doing so much in there. It's such an invasive surgery. It's
well,
like one
I
of the
noticed
top
in your email.
surgery.
I'm sorry, but yeah, in your email you used the word barbaric, and I was like, okay, somebody else that uses that word.
Yeah, it is. It's like I told my wife, I can't believe more people don't lose the leg. They do so much in there.
Yeah, yeah.
They cut the quadricep tendon off. They peel the whole thing back. At least to me, they put a button on the bottom of the kneecap.
Yeah.
Then they peel away all that flesh to get at the knee, and then they take the top 4 millimeters of the tibia off, with all the ligaments, the PCL, the ACL, the menisci, and then if you're really not lucky, they take the popliteals off too. That's way in the back. So if you have a really tight compartment and they can't get in there, they take those too. And the surgeon calls it releasing.
Yeah.
And when he said that to me, I laughed and I said, that's a kind term.
Yeah.
That's like when the Brits would take your head off. They would say releasing your head from your neck.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like saying you're going to feel a little pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. The Brits might be that polite, but the French probably wouldn't have been. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's a tremendous amount of work they do in there. It's amazing the body can adapt to it.
Right.
Now, I'm sure that's part of why we take a year, because your body has to accept what's happened,
Right.
and then respond with some kind of tissue growth, and it has to figure out what it needs to do in there to make it all work.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine over time, with the materials that are in there now. What I worry more about is the plastics, because the plastics wear. Plastics
Right.
really wear.
Right.
And so if you last 20 years and they go in and do a revision, they're going in there and they're popping those out and they're putting new plastic in. So that tells me that the plastic wears down.
Yeah.
How does your body metabolize that? We know that plastics in the environment aren't good.
Right. Right.
Right? All the
It's true.
All the microplastics that we got going on, and this is, yeah.
all the phthalates that leach out of them.
Yeah.
I'm a mass spectrometrist, so when I analyze samples, like I'm analyzing some protein, right, and I have it in a plastic tube, and I manipulate the plastic tube, and then I move it to my instrument, and I put it in the instrument. The mass spectrometer is like a really expensive weighing machine, so I can weigh things down to almost an electron in mass. So I can see the plasticizers that came from the tube. That's coming from a highly processed, well-controlled manufacturing facility that makes these things for my purpose, and I'm still seeing the plasticizers.
Wow.
Right. So what's happening in our body with these plastics? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can test them. I mean, people seem to do okay, but I worry. I guess I worry kind of about that more than the metal.
Yeah. Well, I know that, a lot of people are kind of, surgeons will push back and say, no, I don't want to do surgery yet on you. You're too young. And the reason for that is not because they're sparing them anything in their youth, but these things only can last so long, and wear and tear over the years. So they figure the older you are when you get it done, the better chance you have of it lasting the rest of your life.
Yeah, there are always outliers too, right? There are people that last 30 years. And then you have Lindsey Vonn, who's competing as a skier at the downhill skiing. How much more traumatic can you get on the knee than downhill skiing?
Right.
And she seems to be doing fine, but who knows where she'll be in 20 years.
Right.
But good for her if she can do it. And then you hear people that do fine and do all kinds of really stressful things on their knees, and they seem fine. But then you don't hear about the people that destroy their joint.
For sure.
Or get it when they're 75. And the bone doesn't ossify properly, then they got all kinds of complications, or they're diabetic and they get infections, or there's so many things that you don't hear about.
Yeah.
We kind of hear about the extremes.
Yeah.
And another thing I found out afterwards, that when I take that ACL PCL out, that's part of your proprioception. Proprioception is how your body finds where its parts are.
Yeah.
So I've lost that now.
Yeah.
In the leg.
Yeah. You've mentioned that you've seen some of the other videos. So you've probably heard me mention the physical therapist on YouTube that I really like, Dr. Samantha Smith. And I bought her course, and that's the workout that I do 3 to 4 days a week. And I really like, because she's all about total knee. That's all she does is total knee. But she talks a lot about that and the proprioception, and how, you have to relearn where your body is in space. And so she does exercises for that. And yeah, in the beginning, I was really shocked by that. Of course, again, nobody told me that was going to be a thing, and so I was really surprised by that, to realize, I know where I'm putting this leg or this arm or whatever, but that one was different. And so the exercises definitely helped with that. And so my hope for you, John, is that, like you say, as months go by, things will get better, and you'll feel better. And I still say I don't ever want to do this again, because I don't. But I am definitely more, the more time goes by, the more glad I am that I had it done, because there are things I can do now that the pain before I couldn't do. And, I can walk now, and I can, so anyways, I am glad that I had it done, but I'm also glad that I'm almost 9 months away from having had it done, because the more time that gets behind me, the better. So I definitely hope that for you. And I'm sure it will come.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Okay.
How is your swelling now?
I don't really have any swelling. I mean, the one thing I have concerns about, and I'm trying to just get over it, is I don't think that knee is ever going to look like it did before. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't look like a knee. It's just weird. And I'm like, why doesn't it look this? It's got a kneecap and everything. I just don't like the way that it looks. It looks different than the other one. And I don't know that that's ever going to change, but I don't really get swelling. What I get is, at the end of a day, late afternoon, it just gets so tight, the tightness in my knee. And I don't mean stiffness, because my bend is fine, but it just gets this tight feeling around it that makes me feel like, in my brain, I feel like I have to limp because of this, because I find myself at the end of the day falling back into that limp. And I tell myself, no, even though it feels really tight, it doesn't hurt. You can walk, put weight on it, and I've struggled so much with the confidence in that knee. And I wonder if limping can kind of cause it to tighten up or something too. But
when you mentioned limping, when I'm tired at the end of the day, I limp too.
Yeah.
I limp more when it's fatigued and it's swelling a little bit. It's not that comfortable to go all the way into that extension when you're walking, when your back leg is going back.
Right.
That's when you really extend the knee.
Right.
Or it kind of fails. It's like sore and start to limp.
So, again, we're all different. We all heal differently, and
probably our previous to what we did in our lives. I mean, I worked a physical labor job for a long time, right through. I had a family already, so I had to work when I was in undergrad and grad school. So I worked a physical labor job, and then on top of that, I was a crazy athlete trying to do what I did. So I was working out a lot of times twice a day.
Wow.
And so my body probably just adapted to the point where I recover faster than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so maybe that's carried into why, at 10 weeks I'm maybe better than some people my age, but it's still, even so, I don't care. That's a barbaric surgery.
Yeah.
They really sell it. And what's also disturbing, and what I already kind of related, is when I went to see if I could have a cleanup, it was almost verboten.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And how many of these do they do a year? Over 1 million?
Yeah.
I wonder how many cleanups they could do where it would be.
But
fine.
But I'm sure they don't make as much money on the cleanup. They're making a lot more money on this surgery.
The world go around, doesn't it? So,
yeah, for sure.
Maybe I'm being a little paranoid here, but I know the other knee did really well with the cleanup. I know lots of people in my sport that had them done, and they worked for years. They didn't have a replacement really early or anything. They had these little surgeries.
Right.
So I don't know. These things evolve.
Yeah.
Maybe in 6 months it'll be great. It'll be a great knee,
but we really, really appreciate you reaching out and sharing your story. Your story is just so very interesting. I know it's going to help a lot of people that are out there looking for answers, looking for hope, because what we find is it seems like more people like me and like you tend to not know what they need to look for before surgery. So after they've had the surgery, when they're thinking, what in the world have I done to myself? That's when they start looking, and they turn to YouTube, and they want to hear stories. And I think for most people, what they want to hear is that other people have gone through this and are getting through it. And so your story is going to help people, and for people that are looking for answers, and I would like to revisit you 6, 8, 10 months down the road and see how you're doing. And I know a lot of people out there have already asked us, can we get updates on how these people are doing? And
Yeah.
we haven't been doing this for very long. So, I want to do the updates, further out where, we can really see what the differences
I
are.
think it would be a valuable resource for people going through this.
Yeah.
And if we could only get the YouTube algorithms to show people before they have it.
Right.
I don't know what happened, but it seems like I should have hit a lot of these things before I had the surgery because it wasn't like I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe my brain just didn't want to hear it,
Yeah. That's interesting. I know for me, before surgery, my concern was just finding a good surgeon, finding the right surgeon and that kind of thing. I didn't think to look for what's this going to be like, only because I think it's because anything I'd ever heard was, oh, the first 2 weeks are the hardest, best thing I've ever done. Wish I'd done it 10 years earlier. So that's just what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be 2 weeks and then I was going to be going, yay, I'm glad I did this. And boy, was that a surprise. Anyways, well, John, we've taken up a lot of your time. I really appreciate you for sharing your story and for being patient with our power outage. Our power's back on now. But definitely appreciate it. It was wonderful to meet you and just so glad that we had the opportunity to visit and hear your story.
Well, my pleasure. If 6 months I don't hear from any you people, I'll be sure to look you up. I'll
Absolutely.
be watching the channel, so I'll be seeing your faces. You won't see mine, at least for a while.
All right. Well, definitely be sure and stay in touch because we like to keep in touch with everybody and know how you're doing. So you take care.
I did send you my phone number. So.
Oh, good. Awesome.
So you have that.
All right.
Okay. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, John. All right. Bye-bye.
Well, that was interesting.
That was
aside from the power outage, the interview was very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
I'm going to call him Judo John. I don't care if he likes it or not, because that's how I will just remember him. And I think he was one of the more adamant about, no, I would not do this.
Yeah.
I will not do this again.
Yeah.
I wish I hadn't done it this time.
And I'm sorry, and maybe this makes people upset, but I feel validated when I hear somebody say that.
Sure.
It does. It validates me because I feel so strongly, but I won't do it again. And so what, because you're right. I mean, I feel like everybody else that we've interviewed, they say, yeah, or I'm already scheduled for my next one, or the one we interviewed, the last gal,
Yeah.
she's already had her second one done, 6 or 8 months later.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that he used the word barbaric, it's like, okay,
yeah.
John is my people.
John is your people. And he nailed it with the barbaric, I'm telling you. Because, when I say I'm going to go watch a video again, I haven't watched it, and I'm not.
You've never watched one. No, I couldn't. I still at this point could not watch it. I don't want to know. But I will say when I hear people talk about, that earlier on, years ago, even the torn meniscus, and they had surgery for that, or torn ACL, and been through different surgeries or procedures or whatever for that. And then I think about our 18-year-old grandson who just tore his ACL playing football and has already had surgery on it recently and is still recovering from that. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I feel like he very well may be headed for this. My hope is that it's 2025 when he had his ACL repaired. So maybe it's different than having it repaired in 1970 or 1980. And maybe a 2025 ACL repair will last. I don't know. I'm getting off on a tangent. And in case you didn't hear, I dislocated my thumb. So right thumb, left knee. What?
That's what that's all about.
That's what that's all about. So
the power outage was a squirrel on a transformer.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what Felicia came to tell you?
And the squirrel is okay.
Oh, darn it. I hope it hurted the squirrel. I'm sorry.
You're so mean.
I'm not. They've destroyed too many of my patio cushions, you guys.
And squirrels.
Darn squirrels. Yeah. So anyways.
Well, with the obligatory, thanks for watching. if you found this story interesting, and how could you not?
Right.
Give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Ring that notification bell so you know when the next is coming out. We try to put them out every week. And
with a caveat that we can only put them out every week as long as we get interviews from people, as long as people reach out to us. And when we say reach out to us at hello@Total Knee Talk if you'd like to share your story, what we mean by that is just send us an email that says, I want to be on your channel and I want to share my story. Because we have had people go to the extreme or go to all the work of writing out their whole story and sending it to us in an email. And that's really not what we're looking for. We want you to tell your story on camera, just like John just did. So that's what we mean by...
Yeah, we love reading the stories.
Well, yeah.
But we want you to share it with this community.
Yeah.
To help others.
And so if you want to write your story out to us and let us know, because that's what John did, but he knew that he was going to be interviewed. Yeah. And it was, we were like, wow, we can't wait to talk to John. But in all honesty, do we have anybody else scheduled after John?
No,
we do not.
This could be the last one.
We have nobody else scheduled.
It's up to you.
And there's only 2 more ahead of John, right?
Yeah. So we've got over a few weeks of videos.
Yeah. So basically, as you're watching this today, there may not be another video unless someone has reached out to us. And we could do other things on a Saturday or Sunday. and we're limited on how many we can do because we really can only do the interviews on Saturdays and Sundays because somebody has to work full time.
And it's me, isn't it?
Yeah. So, anyways, we do want to share these stories because we get so many people thanking us that they've found this channel and that they've been able to listen to these stories. So we need you.
What are you, Uncle Sam?
Yes.
With your brace. Welcome back, John. This is our first reappearance of somebody on the show. So we thought we would end up having updates farther out, but we realized with the power outage and the issues we had with John that we missed a couple of things. So he's been gracious enough to come back to give us an update on where his knee is and to cover a couple things that we maybe missed out on.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks since we first spoke with him.
And I think the first thing I want to bring up is we became so active in the initial interview that I completely forgot to thank my wife and my daughter for supporting me through the whole thing. We have like a little hobby farm, so I've got like 12 chickens.
Oh, fun!
Three cats, and a very large yard. And basically, they had to take over because I was on my, in the recliner. I really couldn't do much for at least 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So my wife had to do everything, and I was obstinate at the beginning. I thought, no, I don't need that ice machine. No, I don't need a seat for the shower. No, I don't need an elevated toilet. I can do it all on myself. So she just got it all and just said, here, just if you need it, right? So I did use the ice machine a lot.
Uh-huh.
And, I think it was a job just even keeping up with that, It was an ice machine and a circulator. And then she did all the meals. She did, cleaning up everything. She just really took care of me and my daughter too. And, even the cats are hard to keep up with. So it was a lot. And then all those chickens,
right.
All those chickens and all their clucking. And we have one rooster that tries to attack everyone.
Oh, no.
They really helped me to get through the surgery.
Can you imagine doing it all by yourself without somebody there to help you?
It would have been tough.
Yeah.
It would have been tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would have struggled through it, but I mean, I would have been eating canned food cold out of a can,
And you probably wouldn't have been too worried about mowing the grass or anything like that. And just, throw something out the door for the chickens and
yeah, right. Just hobble over. let them starve.
cut open the bag of cat food for the cats. Say, just, I gotta go
Lay
sit
them-
down.
lay it on the floor. Yeah. So
Well, and I know, having been the caregiver also has the task of being the cheerleader, of being a psychiatrist, if you will, and at times a police negotiator to
Yes.
talk you down off the ledge that you might get on.
I was
So,
on the ledge a few times. Like, I can't believe I did this to myself.
Hmm.
I don't know if this is ever going to be even close to what it was before surgery, and she'd have to talk me down.
Yeah.
I'm mostly past the major pain part, I think, and now it's just slow recovery.
Yeah.
From there. And you read these statistics, and they're like, well, you should be 80% back to normal by 3 months, and I'm at 3 months. I don't know. I'm not. They must define 80% different than I do.
Yeah, see, I've never seen that one. What I saw was 25% at 3 months, 50 at 6, 75 at 9 months, and 100 at 12 months, although it could be up to 18 months.
Yeah.
So, I just hit 9 months the end of October. So I like to think, okay, I'm 75% healed.
do you feel 75?
I do feel 75, unfortunately.
Better than pre-surgery, at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, everything's a lot better. I still just have that tightness, that tight, constricted feeling around my knee. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. I guess I have some of that too. I go to church every Sunday, so I started kneeling for the normal kneeling portions.
How's that?
Strangely enough, I think it actually helped, if it makes any sense, because I'm getting sensation back.
Really?
In that area. I mean, it hurts. The first couple of times I did it hurt for a couple of days after kneeling on it,
Ooh.
I think it's all kind of coming back, so I don't think I'm doing any damage.
Yeah.
I'm going to be coming back to life. I still have good flexibility. I was at 130 at the office.
Nice.
So that's better than the other leg. So I can't complain about flexibility. And I do think that I've lost proprioception in that leg. It's harder. I have to concentrate to brake in my car. And the Jeep is different than the car. So it's like I really have to concentrate to know my foot positions.
Sure.
It's not a weakness problem. It's not knowing how much to push.
Yeah.
So
after we spoke before, I was kind of interested in the whole thing about, because you said you had your ACL and PCL removed, correct?
yeah.
And I know Dee was kind of surprised by that, and I said, yeah, I think I think they typically do. So I was looking that up, and and what I found was they all pretty much, it's standard to remove the ACL, but removing the PCL, that's more typical on the East Coast, and the doctors tend to spare it more on the West Coast. And this particular doctor that I was listening to, and I wonder if that was Adam Rosen, I can't even remember, but anyways, he said there's always a little bit of a controversy between surgeons on taking the PCL or sparing the PCL. But one of the things that they mentioned was, because he mentioned the proprioception in being a problem when that PCL is removed. That's one of the issues, because it's like that knee is just kind of floating there, So I thought that was interesting, and that was Dr. Adam Rosen on YouTube. Do you watch him?
Good.
Yeah, I just watched his thing this morning. His most recent one was about the tight band around the knee, So, but yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
But I have Meniere's disease.
Okay.
So that's a disease where you probably know. I don't know, but
I've heard of it.
The inner ear, where the lymph fluid is, it's like the fluid part of the inner ear. So you have these little hair cells, and they connect to the optic nerve, and then so the sound conducts through that liquid layer, which is lymph tissue. And what happens is, with the disease, that the lymph doesn't drain anymore, so it develops turgor, and then the hair cells die. So you lose the proprioception in the ear. So for a year, I had vertigo, really, really bad.
I was going to say that'll affect your balance and
so
everything.
my proprioception was messed up for a
Oh,
while. And now it's on the same size as the knee. So, eventually the body will compensate, but it's
Yeah.
just another thing to kind of lose. Not something they really tell you about unless you really research that deeply
Yeah.
before you have it done. And I thought I did, but apparently I did not.
One of the many, many things you find out after.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they don't tell you about most things. They just give you the basics,
They
just
probably have to scare you off. You'll probably run out of the office.
probably, I'm sure. A lot of people just wouldn't have it done if they told you all the risks and all the possibilities, that can happen. So,
I also asked him about severing the quadricep above the knee,
mhm.
the kneecap. I asked him. I said, "Does your office do the quad sparing procedure?" And I didn't want to, I wanted to go into it neutral,
Right.
And he said, "Well, I know." He knew what I was getting at. He said, "Well, there's controversy." And the bottom line is, he said it really depends on the surgeon and the need, and really the patient, because there's a lot of manipulation that has to happen. And you have to have room to do the job properly.
Yeah.
So there's probably a difference in how they have to manipulate in that area
Right.
if they repair the quadricep.
Well, John, we've gone into time to where this might just be another episode rather than tying it in, because it's all good information.
Yeah,
So
it's all interesting.
I'll be surprised myself to see which one it is as I'm piecing them together. But we're going to try to keep this one shorter. So have you noticed any noticeable changes in the last 3 weeks since we spoke before?
It's getting less painful, less swelling. I don't ice it at work anymore, really. I think the inflammation is less, but I still probably ice it once a day. And the meds are really down to just Advil and Naproxen, really, and maybe some aspirin. So I think it's on the right track. It's getting more manageable, but
Good.
it's a long ways from being what I want it to be.
Yeah.
So you ready to have the other one done yet?
I was just going to say that. I don't know. I'm going to try to avoid any more joint surgeries. And I would rather adjust how I keep myself in shape rather than continue to wear away on my joints. And I had to take care of my little farm.
Right.
Yeah.
And chase my grandchildren around.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll all get better. We'll all
That's
get
right.
better. I
And
think the goal is to avoid more of this.
Exactly. And realistically, you're only 14 weeks into a 12 to 18 month recovery. So,
Right.
you definitely just have to be patient and, give yourself time and, be kind to yourself. Don't push yourself too hard.
Cut yourself some
Right.
slack, isn't that the sign?
Yeah.
Oh, that comes later.
That's later.
Yeah.
All right, John. Well, thank you for your time, for giving us an update, and we hope to see you again in a few months.
Yeah.
Once you're out.
Yeah,
on the
maybe
grassy
you
knoll.
guys let me know how you guys want to work things. I mean, there's a number of different ways. I'm sure you guys can do it to bring people kind of back and follow up. I think that would be important too. I think it's a great service you guys are doing.
Thank you.
So I look forward to seeing every episode.
Awesome.
I'm on there Friday saying, when are they going to post it? When are they going to post the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, thanks again. Cheers.
right.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All
Say
right.
hi
I
to
think we
Phil.
have to celebrate the Tuesday holiday, but we will.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
He seems to be doing well.
Yeah.
I'm sure Phil is glad to have him back.
Phil the rooster.
Phil the rooster. Did you see the cat coming down the stairs?
I did.
So
Yeah.
that's fun.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he got to call out the caretaker. Caretaker? Nope. That's a whole different line of work. The caregiver, because that is a very important job. And if somebody out there has gone through it without a caregiver,
hats off to
boy,
you.
we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
We want to know how you did that.
Yeah, because I can't even imagine.
That is
But good
nuts.
for his caregiver. his wife to say, okay, honey, you don't need all these things, and then just go get all those
Bought
things
him anyway.
because she knows he's going to need all
Right.
those things. That's a good caregiver.
That is.
That's just a good wife. That's awesome.
So you almost gave our outro away there, in it, but we'll say
I
it
was
again.
just- but it's true. I mean, you
is.
do. You just, because I worry a little bit about John. I feel like he wants to be back to doing all those things right now.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just like, the fact that he's kneeling already, that makes me nervous. So, but good for John. He's going to get there, and he's going to get there pretty quickly. My guess is because, I think he sets those goals and then he pushes towards them.
After a lifetime of his activity, it's
Right.
hard to not
Right.
be doing that. It for sure is.
And for me, after a lifetime of being sedentary, it's like, I'll just sit here. I'm fine.
That's funny.
Walking is good. I can walk.
And you're walking very well.
I walked really
You
fast
walked.
yesterday,
You
didn't
did.
I?
You did.
Mm-hmm. With my 8-pound
I'm having
weighted
trouble
vest.
keeping up with you.
That's right. That's right.
So you go, girl.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Like, subscribe. That's the thumbs up, the subscribe button, the bell. And by all means, if you know somebody who's considering this, who's going through it, who's recovering from it, send them the link to our YouTube channel. Let them hear the stories from people who have gone through what they're going through. And if you have done that, let us know at hello@totalkneetalk.com if you'd like to come on here and share your story and keep this channel going.
Because, when we're out of people to talk to,
There's no more videos.
wow, yeah.
We can't. They just don't want to hear us talk like
we
this.
don't want to beg.
Yeah, all the videos would be like this otherwise. So,
Just us.
just us
Sitting here chatting.
Yeah, as we're doing. So, if you're going through it, if you're going through that knee recovery, man, give yourself some grace and cut yourself some slack. It's tough.
And remember that this is your recovery, not John's. Don't let anybody recovery shame you.
Right?
Don't let anybody surgeon shame you or
shame you in any way.
Or shame you in any way.
Let's talk knees, titanium knees. From hurting to healing, to taking the lead. Let's talk knees. So next time someone brings up knees, don't just nod, lean in with ease. There's a saga in those joints, a battle fought, a new way to move, a lesson taught. Full range in 6 months, that's the move. Let's talk knees, yeah.